Alright, listen up. Here's the rub. In the original BO1 Zombies, played on my Xbox 360, on the map Kiener der Toten, which is the map I chose for this challenge, there are officially 32 guns, including the starting pistol, that need to be pack-a-punched. This also includes 9 wall weapons and 22 weapons to get from the box. The rules of the challenge are simple. Rule number 1, all of these weapons must be pack-a-punched. And rule number 2, you cannot go down under any circumstances, which means there are no quick revives, and if you do go down, the run is terminated and you will cease to exist and you must start over. On the outside, this challenge may look simple, but this took me probably over 20 hours to complete, and I want to shout out one person, and that is Mr. Cool, who sat through the final run the entire way through, which was 4 hours long and lasted until 1 a.m., and he is just a superstar. Now with that out of the way, let's get right to the video. But one more thing, this video is sponsored by the subscribe button. I have very little subscribers, please subscribe, I need to, I just need you to, I'm so small. Alright, enjoy the video. So honestly, this challenge is very straightforward. You have to keep the starting pistol right away. You can't exchange it for another gun because you need to pack-a-punch it. To get to the pack-a-punch on Kiener der Toten is super simple. You just go through a couple doors, turn on the power, and link the pod in the pad, and the teleporter takes you up to the pack-a-punch. So the starting rounds is very simple. I get money, I survive, there's nothing to it, get as much money as possible. And what I do first off is I buy the MPL off the wall. Well, so first off, all wall guns are going to need to get pack-a-punched as long as box guns. It's part of the challenge. So I buy that because it's a money-making machine and it'll get me nice, easy points in the beginning of the game. So from there, simple zombie stuff. Run, get through, get money, and see the problem is in the first rounds there's not enough zombies because it's points per bullet into a zombie, and the zombies are very weak, so it's hard to get lots of points in the beginning rounds. Plus the rounds just don't have a lot of zombies to begin with, so you don't get that many points. And by the time I finally have enough money to pack-a-punch the starting pistols to get them out of my inventory, it is already level 8, and we're already 15 minutes into this run. But upgrading the starting pistols to the Mustang Sally marks the first out of 31 guns, and an innocent man that doesn't know what he's about to get himself into, because little does he know, for the next 4 hours he will be hoarding zombies, getting points, and upgrading guns. So next is simple. Get enough points to upgrade to pack-a-punch the MPL, and that was very simple and easy to do. We got enough points. We went pack-a-punch the MPL. That marks 2 out of 31 guns. After that, Mr. Cool and I thought, you know, might as well start hitting the box to see if we can get the Thunder Gun, and as soon as we do, that's our scapegoat. But until then, the rounds are still relatively easy enough to where I can just take whatever gun I get out of the box if it makes a lot of money and pack-a-punch it to get out of the way early in the game. So right away we get the CZ75 pistol, and you know, it's good enough in the early rounds and I can get it out of the way and it'll make me at least a little bit of money, plus I still have the pack-a-punched MPL, and I'll just get as much money as I can so I can pack-a-punch and get the pistol out of the way. So once we had enough money, of course, we pack-a-punched the pistol and it turns into the Calamity. So just a little sidebar here. You don't usually get to pack-a-punch every single gun because you just use meta guns in zombies, if that makes sense. Like, you don't usually go around upgrading these random guns. So it's cool to see the names that they give them and actually how good they are pack-a-punched. And let me just say, don't pack-a-punch guns that aren't meta. It's not worth your time. They all mostly suck at the end of the day, but they're fun to pack-a-punch if you just want to try this challenge for yourself. But moving on, now we have 3 of 31 guns, and it is currently half an hour of playtime as of right now. Next, we hit the box again. We get the G11, which this gun is like one of my least favorite guns in the whole entire game. But when you pack-a-punch it, after I got enough points, very simple, got enough points, pack-a-punched it, it turns into a fully automatic gun, and it fires extremely fast even without double tap. Like, I didn't have double tap at this point, but if I did, oh my goodness, the amount of bullets I'd be able to put down range would be insane. But from there, we now have 4 out of 31 guns. After I got the 4th gun pack-a-punched, you will see that it is just hoarding zombies, getting points, pack-a-punching the next gun over and over and over again. So let's just keep on pushing through. So after a little while, we hit the box again, and lo and behold, we got our saving grace, the Thunder Gun, which was a game changer for this challenge. Thank you, Mr. Cool. We take that Thunder Gun and we stick it in our back pocket. We make some more points, and then we go and hit the box again, and we get the Spectre. Terrible gun. Don't even use it. It gets you lots of points if you're curious, but doesn't take long until we have enough points that I can go and Pack-a-Punch that, get as many points as I can with it Pack-a-Punched, and then I go, of course, and hit the box once again. This time getting the RPK, which is a money-making machine, so I go and buy Double Tap, so that I can maximize the amount of points that I get out of the RPK before Pack-a-Punching. And from here, I was able to get up to 20,000 points, which is a lot, which means I could Pack-a-Punch quite a few guns. But this is where I want to come in here and say, Pack-a-Punching on Keener to Toten is actually kind of difficult, because you can wait until the zombies, you know, like you have a couple crawlers or whatnot, but teleporting actually kills the zombie, or like makes you out of range of the zombies. So sometimes if you want to Pack-a-Punch multiple guns, not only does this put more time onto the challenge, because you have to wait for the pod to get ready again so that you can actually use it, and that's about a 1-minute timer. So every time I have to wait 1 minute before I can link the pad and then go and Pack-a-Punch again. Then on top of that, I have to keep the Thunder Gun in my back pocket. Remind you that there is no mule kick on BO1. I was playing this on my Xbox 360, so I can't get 3 guns. So I have to Pack-a-Punch 1 gun every single time, wait a minute, and then also, an inconvenient is sometimes the zombies die when I go and teleport. So it just makes this challenge even longer. So just to add a little bit even more difficulty onto the challenge. So from there, we Pack-a-Punch the RPK, marking 6 out of 31 guns complete. And of course, we get as many points as we possibly can with that upgraded RPK. And then from there, we simply just grab the M16 off the wall there as an easy gun to go Pack-a-Punch real quick. Fun fact, when you upgrade the M16, if you didn't know, you get a little grenade launcher on the bottom, which is pretty cool. They don't really do that much in the recent Black Ops, as they don't give special attachments to guns, but that was something that happened when you Pack-a-Punch guns back in the olden days. And that marks 7 out of 31. We are cruising, and we are currently 1 hour into this challenge. Next, we get the China Lake, the grenade launcher in the game, and let me tell you, this thing absolutely blows, but I go and upgrade it anyway, and it becomes the China Beach. And that marks 8 out of 31 guns. Then I get the Dreykov out of the box, and I go Pack-a-Punch that real quick because I've got money to spend, because I'm absolutely loaded. After upgrading that, it's actually not the worst gun Pack-a-Punched if you really want to know. But then from there, I get the Ray Gun, which I thought I might as well Pack-a-Punch because the odds of getting the Ray Gun are fairly low. Don't quote me on this. If anyone actually knows, I believe that wonder weapons like the Ray Gun and the Thunder Gun have a less percentage chance of popping up in the box than any of the other ones. Like when you spin the box, you have a 1 in 21 chance of getting a gun, but I think even the Thunder Gun and the Ray Gun have even a less chance of showing up than the wonder weapons. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong or right. So from there, we simply wait until round 24 is coming to an end. Pack-a-Punch the Ray Gun, marks 10 out of 31 guns complete. We go and hit the box again, get the Galil, one of my favorite guns of multiplayer back in BO1. The Galil always holds a place in my heart. From there, we get as many points with the Galil as possible. And then we simply go and Pack-a-Punch it, get some more points with it Pack-a-Punched, hit the box once again, and get this sniper, the L96A1, and this thing's a piece of hunk of junk. Don't ever Pack-a-Punch it in your life. Don't ever use it on zombies. Then we get the AUG, pretty good money maker, so we use it to make a decent amount of points before Pack-a-Punching it. Then once we Pack-a-Punch, fun fact, you get a little shotgun attachment on the bottom of the AUG once Pack-a-Punched, and then we simply just use the AUG to get some more points because the fire rate is really good. And then from there, we just had a lot of leftover points, so I thought might as well just go Pack-a-Punch another gun. Got the Ballista Knives out of the way, which is very important. Another fun fact, once you Pack-a-Punch the Ballista Knives, because no one ever does it, you can shoot people and it'll revive them. I'm clearly not playing with another person, so I can't actually demonstrate that. But got the ballista knives out of the way, and that marks 14 out of 31 weapons, and we're approaching halfway. Then we get our second heavy, the HK21, which is another money-making machine, so we will use this as long as we can to make money. And once we have enough, we go and pack-a-punch it, and then use as many bullets as we can in it to make even more money. From there, since we got up to 41,000 points, which seems like a lot, but in the future you're gonna see that it is not as much money or as not as many points as you think it is, and it doesn't stretch as far as I want to. But since I had this amount of points, I knocked off a couple useless wall weapons, with the MP5K being the first one, and going in and pack-a-punching the AK-47U, which isn't actually that bad of a wall weapon, personally. And then from there, we hit the box, we get the HS-10 shotgun, which is also not a terrible gun, pack-a-punch. And then I wait for the teleporter to get back up, of course, and then I teleport and go pack-a-punch the shotguns, which turn into 2 shotguns, and they actually do fairly well for themselves. Granted, they just don't have a whole lot of ammo. And then this is at the point of the game where I was like, well, I need more points, and I can't use the Thunder Gun. So eventually what I started to do is, at round 30, it takes forever to kill the zombies, so I just repetitively bought bullets for the M16 and repetitively shot at the zombies, to where I just got such a big amount of points that I could just go and pack-a-punch things after the round's over. The only problem with this is it takes a lot of time and a lot of training, and at this point in the video we're at 18, which we're just over halfway done with the guns, and we're 2 hours and 2 minutes in, and there's still 2 hours left of this run. So it's a lot of hoarding and a lot of shooting, and my hands will start to cramp during this, and just a lot of foreshadowing to happen here. So then we just started buying the M16 off the wall and getting points among points among points, and here we get up to about 45,000 points, which is a good amount of a number. So we go and pack-a-punch some more wall weapons. The Olympia is actually one of my favorite pack-a-punch weapons because it turns into Hades, and they get these fire bullets, which is pretty cool. And then next we buy another wall weapon out of the way, the M14. Terrible gun, don't ever pack-a-punch it. It's only good in, the earlier rounds where you're getting headshots and making points. Next, then, we start hitting the box again. We get the crossbow, which is actually kind of useful because it is a monkey when it's pack-a-punched. So, it does have some use, but for our purposes, we pack-a-punched it real quick and got out of there. Hit the box again, and we got the rocket launcher, which is useless when it's not pack-a-punched, but once it is pack-a-punched, you can fire 10 bullets repetitively without reloading, and then when you reload, it only takes one reload and you get the 10 bullets back. So it's actually not the worst gun when pack-a-punched. But after I pack-a-punched that marks 22 out of 32 guns, so we're getting there. Hit the box again. I got the FN FAL, which I despise this gun because it does barely any damage, but I guess if you want to know, it turns into a 3-round burst once you pack-a-punch it. Still is useless. And then from there, I got a heavy out of the box, so I start making points again. And now I just want to come in here and say, once again, please subscribe if you made it this far into the video. Happy that you're here, but this is where I want to explain where the difficulty of the challenge and the time-consuming part of the challenge is. Because now that we are 23 out of 32 guns left, that means there's only a select amount of guns. So this is just probability. There's a select amount of guns that we still need from the box. And as you keep getting guns out of the box, the probability of getting the one that you need gets smaller and smaller and smaller, because each time you roll the box, you have one out of X amount to get that gun. So eventually, this turns into me spinning the box over and over and over and over and over again to just try to get the last final gun that I need, which you'll see at the end of the video. But I just want to say that that's why this challenge gets longer and longer and longer the time you go on, because getting the gun that you need out of the box, the probability of getting it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So, just wanted to come in here and explain that real quick as we continue on with the video. So after hoarding the zombies and shooting them with the M16, which felt like forever because it's round 31, I got to a decent amount of points, hit the box, and I finally got a weapon that I hadn't pack-a-punched yet, which was the FAMAS. So quickly go and pack-a-punch that. Then I get the commando, which I haven't pack-a-punched either. Quickly go pack-a-punch that. And then, unfortunately, I accidentally killed the zombie while teleporting, so I gotta start, and I gotta hoard them again, and wait till the end of the round to pack-a-punch more weapons. Then I get the Spas, which is another shotgun that I haven't pack-a-punched yet, so I quickly go and pack-a-punch that to get it out of the way. This marks 26 of 32 guns, and we are approaching the end of this challenge. And yes, there is only 6 more guns left to pack-a-punch, some of them being wall weapons, but there's still an hour left of this content that I still need to sit through. That honestly, you can tell that my mood during this video keeps going down and down and down because of the fact of how long this challenge is taking. But at this point, I've committed my time that I need to finish this challenge, because at this point, there's no turning back. I do not want to restart the challenge. And let me tell you, there are a couple close calls of me dying, but I am able to complete the challenge. So next, after hoarding the zombies and getting a buttload of money, actually 55,000, I'm hoping that this is enough to end the challenge right here, right now. But after spinning the box again and again and again and again, we finally pull the dual pistol, the C7C5 dual wield, which is the same pistol as the, of just the single one, but there's 2 of them, and we included this into the gun count, which turned the gun count to actually 32 guns. Or I quickly go and pack-a-punch the dual wields, and then we're back to the box again and again and again until finally we get the last gun I needed out of the box before finishing the wall guns, and that was this stupid Python. I think I spun the box 100 times for this thing. So after I got the Python, I realize right now that the gun count is actually not correct on screen, but this is the last box gun that I needed. And then it was just wall weapons from here on out. So this is where Mr. Cool went back and fact-checked me, and we actually had 30 of 32 guns here. And then after Mr. Cool went and fact-checked me, we realized we only had wall weapons left. So then I pack-a-punched the Stakeout, which is a hidden gun that not many people actually know are on this map. Then I upgrade the MP63 off the wall and the MP40 to finish off the challenge. And boy, oh boy, did it feel good to finally say 32 out of 32 guns. I'm 32 of 32. There's a viewer that just hopped in here. You were here. This just took me 4 hours. 32 of 32. I have done every Easter egg. I have bought everything that you could possibly buy in BO1, all without dying. Holy shit. And after 4 hours of just one run alone, plus probably another 15 to 20 hours in other runs, we finally made sure that we pack-a-punched every single gun without dying. And this is something we found hilarious. 286,000 points is what I accumulated during this whole event, which is a very high amount of points, I believe. And that's what it took to complete the challenge. And also, just as confirmation, during the live stream at the end, we went through all of the guns just to make sure we pack-a-punched them once again, to fact-check everything, and we did. And that marked the end of the challenge. So what are my thoughts? Well, first, I just want to thank Mr. Cool one more time for sitting through me, because I needed someone to be there to just keep me motivated through this challenge, because by hour 4, I wanted to end everything about the challenge and just call it quits. But I pushed through, I was able to get it, and not only, if he never came up with keeping the Thunder Gun in my back pocket for sticky situations, I don't think this challenge would have ever been able to be completed. Well, that's wrong. It would have been, but it would have been much harder. So after that happened, literally the first run when I kept the Thunder Gun, we were able to finish the challenge and finally go to bed at about like 1 a.m. It was a late night, but it taught me a valuable life lesson. And that is to never give up on your goals. You know? There's a golden nugget there, you know? Persevere and fight for, you know, hard things. Because at the end, the reward at the end makes you feel very good inside. And I will tell you, the reward that I got after finishing this challenge was nothing like I've ever felt before. As cheesy as that sounds, I guess. And of course, if you made it this far into the video, thank you very much. I might have made this video and committed all this time for 50 views. I don't know. Because I'm not a very big YouTuber. So maybe at the end of this, I did all of this for a couple of handful of views, but at least I did it. I know I've done it, and I haven't really seen anyone else do a video like this before, so it's pretty unique. So please hit that subscribe button if you like this content. And I do a bunch of zombies content. I do a little CSGO content. I do kind of whatever content is flowing through me that day. That's kind of what I like to do. I don't focus on one thing. If I'm ever live streaming, pop in, turn on your notifications. I'm pretty cool. We like me and Mr. Cool talk every time I'm streaming. We have a good time just chatting, and I got a couple other consistent-ish viewers, and you know, I'm just trying to build a community or something like that. So with that being said, once again, if you made it to this end of this video, you are a superstar. You hold a special place in my heart. And yeah, hopefully this video gets more than 50 views, because it took a lot of my time. But you know, that's what you got to do when you're just starting off. Videos take time. All right, this is me and my monkey, my real world monkey, signing off for this video. And until the next video, I hope you guys have a good life, good day, good whatever. Push through your weeks of work and whatever and whatnot, and you know, have fun. See you guys in the next video. Deuces.